we have Sid Varma with us, who's the marketing director of Asia Pacific and India for Ducati.
I have ridden all of them. I'm in love with them. That's why I think I enjoy working for the brand that I do.
Your career trajectory is actually something which a lot of people would love to follow.
A degree helps you sell yourself better. That is the only added advantage. There is no shortcut to on-ground experience.
Introducing an international brand to a country like India.
In India, people do not want the cheapest product. They want the best value for money product. As soon as an agency stops acting like an agency and wants to become a brand, it becomes a great agency.
Hey there, welcome to Marketing Mavericks with Indiefolio. Today, we have Sid Varma with us, who's the marketing director of Asia Pacific and India for Ducati. We talk a lot about his journey, his passion for motorcycles, and really getting some insights for young marketeers. If you also have an ambition to move abroad and lead a large MNC like him, there's a lot for you to learn in this conversation. Thanks a lot for your time, Sid, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much for having me. I think I'm looking forward to it. And it's actually good to meet you after a brief introduction via LinkedIn. And let's do this.
Very, very happy that I could get a slot from you on a Sunday morning. So I won't, take too much of your time. Let's get right started. So before we start anything, right, I wanted to ask you, do you actually have to test drive your products for, work?
Yes, I mean, for us, it is very, very important to ride all the motorcycles that we make. Okay, you need to not only know your product, but fall in love with it for you to sell it better. For me, I ride all of them. I have ridden all of them. I have owned a few of them in the past. And I'm in love with them. That's why I think I enjoy working for the brand that I do.
Fantastic. I think your career trajectory is actually something which a lot of people would love to follow. And the intention, of the conversation is to try and give some guidance to young marketeers that if they want to probably, build a career in marketing, maybe one day have a ambition to go abroad and lead, let's say, a global MNC, what would that look like? But before we get into that, I want to kind of go back into maybe when you were in your, high school or your early days of college.
Yes.
If you, ask me, I see more engineering grads being, marketing leaders in India than actually marketing folk who've done that. It's refreshing, honestly, to, talk to somebody who was very clear, I think, right from the get-go that this was probably one of your career choices. So could you tell us, when is it that you decided that marketing is going to be a focus for you?
Okay, so I think I decided I wanted to work with motorcycles. So it's the other way around because I've always loved motorcycles. I've been riding motorcycles from a very early age. In fact, in the school I went to, so what happens in we weren't allowed to ride motorcycles. And I used to have a small little 50, 60 cc Hero Puck moped. So I was caught on it many times. And but yeah, my love for motorcycles was greater than my love for marketing initially. And having said that, it was very clear that I wanted to work in the field. I don't think I was smart enough to become an engineer, so I chose to become a marketing person.
Fantastic. I mean, such clarity is something which people honestly struggle to have these days because they're either going ahead and chasing, a particular identity, which could be maybe a salary bucket, position, or some power, etc. And I often see people doing, let's say, engineering or doing law and then realizing, that's not something I like. Because the signals I caught on to are maybe, external versus intrinsic. And they honestly see themselves pretty lost, right? So what's your opinion and advice to, young folks who maybe don't have this clarity that I want to build something in motorcycle or I want to, let's say in my case, I always want to do something for freelancers in the world. I feel that it's a great, career path to have being independent. But a lot of people don't have that. So how do I really find that? And how did you find that? If you could kind of share that.
Look, I think firstly, it is very important to know what you love. It can be inside of educational domains, it can be outside of educational domains. And then the second point is to find out how you can be a part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, for me, motorcycles have been since very, very young age. I loved them. I wanted to be part of. I just wanted to ride all my life, right? But having said that, uh, I started my career in advertising.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually a copywriter first. So I started copywriting. Then from advertising, worked in PR. From PR, I worked in digital. From digital, I worked in event agency, right? So, having done this whole journey of everything that marketing, communications has, is when I moved to the client side. So, I worked
Mm-hmm.
in many agencies for a very long time, testing the waters of different things to do. I remember a lot of people, some friends, some ex colleagues, parents, they weren't too happy with my choices of quitting work 10, 11 months, 1 year working in a company, moving on to another company. So there was no stability in the beginning, but it was consciously this way, so I could, have a journey across all the aspects and dimensions, learn whatever there was to offer, and then move to the client side. And how I moved to the client side is very interesting, is because I still remember that I went to the Auto Expo and I was working in PR, and I went straight to the motorcycle section, and then I literally handed over my CV to every brand there. And then I got all the brands somehow managed to get their email address, one of the guys from every team, and I would just shoot off emails to them saying, I want to work with you, I want to work with you. And it was very very persistent, and they would respond to me saying, I'm not the right person, why don't you send to HR? And then eventually, I still remember there was a gentleman who responded saying, oh, we don't have an opening in our automobile company now, but would you like to work for the PR agency that works for our, which represents our brand in the country? And then I said, of course I can. And that's how I started working for the PR agency that worked for the company I eventually started working for.
Fantastic. I think the biggest takeaway I have, right, is that exposing yourself to various things in the earlier part of your career is very critical. I think
It's very, very,
you
yes.
can, you can keep on having strategies in your mind, but till you don't really action it, till you don't really go on ground and try, you won't really know, what you like or what you dislike. And that's why often sometimes people love a particular subject while studying it, but when it comes to execution, it really kind of is a very different picture. I want to now, ask, uh, there is also, a lot of conversations around how important is a formal degree in marketing. Let's say if I have an ambition as a young marketer to go abroad, do you feel that it is important to have a formal marketing degree from maybe an international institution?
I think let me answer this with the second part to your question, which I didn't answer earlier, which was sales. A degree helps you sell yourself better. That is the only added advantage I think a marketing degree would give you, right?
Right.
Nothing teaches like on ground experience. There is no shortcut to on ground experience.
Right.
However, a degree helps you understand the gives you a more sellable value to it. Firstly,
Mhm.
second point is going abroad or not. Go abroad for the exposure, not for the education. Okay,
Mhm.
one should go abroad because it gives them a different set of exposure that India could not provide you, but not for the education. I think educational institutes in the country are exceptional. Okay, I went abroad because I could have not got a maybe a better university in India. Otherwise, I would have not gone abroad. But on the hindsight, would I go abroad? Yes, I would go abroad for the exposure, not the education.
Makes sense. I feel that you basically get access to very different kind of walks of life. I think you could get siloed in India. Like for example, I have never really gone out abroad, and I have a lot of friends who have, and just kind of talking to them and understanding, wow, people live like that is like so nice to hear sometimes, because their values, or at least the way they do things, is so unique compared to what we
Yes.
traditionally do.
Yes.
Um,
Absolutely.
the other part now I want to kind of jump into is talk a little bit about your experience, let's say, introducing an international brand to a
Hmm.
country like India, right? I think you probably did that in Triumph quite a bit.
Yes.
The conversation and the challenge, right, around that is usually that India is a very different market, it's a very different beast. You have to sell differently in India. But at the same point in time, India also aspires to be, like how developed countries are. So that's why
Yes.
people are always fighting here. Should I localize? But should I localize to a degree where it looks like an Indian brand, or should I, try and borrow or rather retain what my international brand stands for? But then, am I kind of diluting personalization, localization? So, could you kind of share your, guidelines, or probably a playbook on introducing an international brand to a country like India?
Look, India is a very aspirational market, like you just said. We all aspire for better.
Mhm.
We are, a lot of people say that we are a cost driven market, right?
Right.
But I believe we are a value driven market.
Mm.
In India, people do not want the cheapest product. They want the best value for money product, right? Be it a motorcycle, be it a car, be it regular household things. Now India has evolved to a position where you do not want to go to the shop and pick up which is the cheapest on the shelf.
Mhm.
You definitely might go for something which is 10% more, or 10% on discount, or maybe gives you X plus Y, or gives you more value, right?
Right.
So we are a value driven market. We are a very evolved market.
Yeah.
Okay, when I hear people saying, oh, India is a beginners market, I think the Indian client customers have really evolved. They are well traveled. They are well exposed. They spend a lot of time on social media. They spend a lot of time on the internet. So you can't, you have to sell them a product
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
is value driven,
Mhm.
which is what they need. Okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
so maybe some of the Chinese brands that come to India miss the boat on this. They are unable to provide a value driven product. They are focused on a cost
Mhm.
uh, driven model, firstly. So like I said, the second part is that for every brand, be it a British brand like a Triumph, be it an American brand like a Harley, be it like an Italian marquee brand like Ducati, be it other brands. I'll only talk of the motorcycle industry because this is where I operate. It is very, very important for every brand to be true to its origin, true to its roots, true to its pedigree, in terms of the conversation it does with the clients, in terms of the offering that they have, in terms of the products that they have. Okay, so that someone chooses you for you,
Mhm.
does not choose you for as a me too brand,
Mhm.
does not choose you as a, oh, I can buy X but I will buy because you are cheaper. Okay,
Mhm.
so that is very important. I think a lot of Indian brands are trying to be a me too brand.
Mhm.
Okay, a lot of motorcycle brands in the country are, we need to move on from the cost narrative. We need to move on from the kitna deti hai narrative. Okay, when was the last time uh, people in the current generation would worry about, ye kitna deti hai? A motorcycle is
Mhm.
changing, it's evolving from a last mile commute to a leisure vehicle.
Right.
So I think it's very, very important for brands to be true to their character, to their origin, and provide value if they want to be successful in a country like India, because the client in India is very evolved.
I want to now jump into, asking you a common apprehension marketeers have going abroad, because the the way a marketer does a good job is by understanding the customer. Now, let's
Hmm.
say I've spent my whole life in India, and now let's say in your example, you are currently in Thailand, leading Asia Pacific and India as a whole
Hmm.
market.
Yes.
You may know India well because you grew up here, but maybe not Thailand, maybe not other geographies. So if you are put into a new territory and you're supposed to handle the entire continent, let's say, how do you really empathize with the customer? How do you learn about what they like?
Uh, I mean, clients may vary. Okay, client in India might be different from a client in Thailand. A client in Thailand might be different from a client in Korea, Indonesia, Malaysia, many countries. But those are small cultural differences. The product remains the same.
Hmm.
Okay, I am selling the same dream to you, irrespective of where you're based. Which is
Right.
that when you buy a Ducati, you will spend less time on Netflix. Okay, because you will go out, you will take your missus, you will take your girlfriend, you'll go out with friends, you will watch beautiful scenarios where you're not seeing another actor become the hero, but where you are the hero riding a cool bike. And so this narrative remains the same across the world,
Right.
right? uh, Culturally it might be slightly different, but it's like, does a surgeon operate differently in the US on a heart surgery and in India on a heart surgery, or no?
True.
They,
Very, very,
but
very,
the
very
heart
safe.
size is different. The size of an Indian body could be slightly different to a European body. So those little dynamics change, but an operation is an operation anywhere in the world. Same is with marketing. It is the same thing that you will do across the board. It is just that you will have a different understanding of a client, his needs, and how to approach him. The movie remains the same. It is how you share the movie with different clients is how it is different.
Superb. I'm loving the analogies here. It's like really, really easy to understand. But just to touch upon that, any particular culture shocks you faced, saying, "Oh wow, okay, these
Many, many,
folks do
many,
things differently." If you can share an
many, many.
example.
Look, I will share an example of many. In India, we are very pushy, right?
Mhm.
We tell someone, oh, I speak to you, I say, okay, tomorrow I want this done. And you'll say yes or you'll say no. You'll give me a timeline. You'll say this needs to be, maybe we are putting up an event and we are setting up the box, and we say, okay, tomorrow you do this, and you say yes, this will be done at 8 o'clock. Now in some cultures, the losing face is a very big thing, especially in Southeast Asia. So
Mhm.
there they don't usually tell you that no, this can't be done, because they don't want to lose face. Okay, so they will say yes, but tomorrow when you reach, it won't be done. And then you're then you need to introspect and understand why it was not done. They respect you so much that they will not say no to you,
Wow.
but at the same time you need to understand what to expect. So many
Mhm.
cultural things,
Mhm.
many cultural sensitive things are needed to be taken into account for different brands, color specifications, product specifications.
Mhm.
In some parts of the world, the dynamics of the landscape plays an
Mhm.
important role of the product mix. Many things.
Mhm.
It's a interesting world. Some
Got
people,
it.
for
Got it.
example, some cultures in Asia, you are supposed to drink with your clients for them to
Yeah.
start trusting you more.
Right. Right.
So it's different.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I think it's also really fascinating. I feel going abroad and really learning these nuances, I think, should kind of excite you to go to job every day. I'm assuming, learning new things every time.
Yes, yes, it's very exciting. I mean, meeting people from different cultures. I take care
Right.
of 18 different countries.
Wow.
So, it is culturally very different.
Fantastic. I want to now talk about relationships between a client and an agency, right? So, as you know, we are a network of founders of creative studios or solopreneurs.
Yes.
The sheer workload makes the agencies feel okay. You used to tell me 3 days in advance, I need this. You used to give me a 6-hour briefing call to understand the
Hmm.
brand and the brief and the approach. Now you're like, ye karke do, it's like there is no time you have to
Mm.
brief me. So how will I really understand? And
Yes.
that's why there's a lot of friction which keeps on coming up. Do you feel this is unique to India, or do you think this is happening generally all across the world?
I mean, I think this is becoming a norm in India.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the problem is both ways. Agencies, I work both sides, so I will, like I said, for the corporates, it is, for example, more be more sensitive. Like I opened my discussion with being more sensitive towards the agencies, but for agencies also to stop pitching and becoming partners. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I get so many calls from agencies and saying, "Oh, we want to pitch to you, but there are too many people pitching to me. Come partner with me." Okay,
Mm.
there's so many digital or social media agencies who would come and tell me, "Oh, I will give you so many leads. I will give you so much visibility by campaigns like you said. We will do so many content every day. We will increase your Facebook likes from 500,000 to 5 million and all that." Okay, but why does an agency not come to me and tell me that I will be your sales outlet in the digital world?
Mm.
I will sell, for example, 100 motorcycles for you.
Mm.
Why doesn't an agency come to me and say, let's take the example of India saying, okay, in India, if you're selling 100 bikes a month, I will sell 100 bikes a month for you on
Mm.
the social media channels or the web world. So I think the agencies need to move in the dynamics of
Mhm.
partnering with your clients,
Mhm.
and the clients need to be realistic in terms of giving the agency and a real measurable campaign.
Right.
And if I were honestly, if all these 6 hour calls, these webex calls lasting 6 hours, and give me this in tomorrow 8 p.m., but if you don't give it at tomorrow 8 p.m., what is going to happen? Let's not take our job so seriously, guys. We are not flying the next spaceship to NASA. We are not landing on the moon. Okay,
Right.
if I give it to you at 8 p.m. the next day, nothing is going to change.
Right.
So let's all be realistic. We are creative people. We are again, the difference is, are you an engineer?
Me? No.
Yes. Okay. So
I'm a
like I said,
UX UI designer and animator.
but like I said, let's keep the math and the physics to the engineers and the to them. We are creative storytellers,
Right.
and for being creative storytellers, you need a lot of time. You can't pick up a book by William Shakespeare and say, "Okay, it's too long, shorten it for me." No, you can't do it. He
Right.
took time to write it. You need to spend time to read it.
Absolutely. I think creativity really comes from boredom sometimes. You need space.
Yeah, yeah,
It can't really happen quickly. So it's so refreshing to hear this said from somebody on the brand side. So you said that, it's happening more in India. Do you feel that there are some things creative founders can learn from the plethora of probably global agencies you work with on what maybe they are doing right, which maybe the agencies in India are lacking?
no, I think just like I said, guys, let's not take everything so seriously.
Okay.
Enjoy first, work along with it, right? Don't have realistic deadlines. Give the agency time, and the agency partner with your clients. Be a window.
Hmm.
What does It's not about always about saying, "Oh, I'm going to make content which is going to go viral," and then what? Things that go viral, they die down just as fast,
True.
right? So, would you remember for example, do you remember the Godfather movie, or do you remember the last viral content?
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I think we're being realistic and not. Again, I keep telling this to everybody that if you do not, our job is so cool. It is easy. We are not on the border. We are not guarding something. Our decisions don't end up, taking or saving lives.
Right.
So let us sell. Let us have fun while selling. Let us be creative storytellers. Let us give our clients reasons to purchase. Let's be pull brands rather than push brands.
I think you said something really, really profound. I want to now I'll ask you, what, according to you, separates a good agency from a great agency?
What separates a good agency from a great agency? Because as soon as an agency stops acting like an agency and wants to become a brand, it becomes a great agency. Anything that you an agency is a brand or not?
It is.
It is a brand. It is a brand. Why are there only maybe 5 or 15 best top agencies that people remember as a brand, right? But so like I said, for any good agency to become a great agency, they need to stop acting like an agency and become a brand. First step,
Right.
most critical step. They want to have their clients as happy as a brand wants their clients to be as happy.
Right.
Be so this is the most critical step.
I think couldn't agree more. One aspect here, right? Again, on behalf of the whole network at Indiefolio, people are very anxious because usually the leverage you had, as a creative person was obviously one was the strategy and solutioning, but for a lot of people, especially in India, right, it was the craft. Can know how to shoot a nice video, write a very nice sounding copy, design something aesthetic. But now it seems to be it seems to be completely prompted out, saying if you know the question, if you know the context, if you have the budget, you can prompt something out to a decent degree today. Imagine 5 years from now. And that's why I'm hearing a lot of people thinking, hey, maybe content creation would just become part of a toolkit of a marketer. And maybe a lot of in housing will start happening. And the whole state of creative outsourcing is probably at stake. What do you have to say about that? And what do you think creative founders today should do to still build a differentiation which a head of marketing like you could leverage in the future?
I mean, like I said, you have to embrace change. You have to embrace what AI has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Why is everything about competing?
Mm-hmm.
It can also be about complementing,
Mm-hmm.
right? It can also AI complements the work you do.
Right.
AI might make you look sharper on this video with a little touch up, may make the lights better, which is going to supplement what we're doing.
Right.
So I think for creative founders, it is a toolkit. It is part.
Mhm.
It's one of the employees. Let's look at it as one of your employees working for you
Right.
alongside your creative studio,
Right.
which will help you create better reels,
Right.
which will help you create better content, which will help you, with the pictures, with the videos, to make them sharper, make them better. But it's like I said, it is complementing rather than competing.
Fantastic. So yeah, I think that's our time, Sid. Thank you so much. I hope you had fun.
No, I did. Thank you very much for reaching out, and I look forward to our conversation sometime soon. Yeah.
For sure. And for everybody who's stuck along, thank you so much for tuning in. If you'd like to hear another marketing leader, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye.